What's up, guys? Waiting to see who all else we're going to have pop in here before we get started too much. What's going on, Mr. Smith? You guys hear me okay? Is the sound okay? Picture okay? What's going on, gentlemen? I was just asking if the sound and picture is okay on this. Okay. Because this is a brand new camera that my wife bought me to try out. So I'm trying to see if this thing will work or not for this. And it's 101 in the shade outside, so the air conditioner is running full blast right behind me. And, that's affecting the picture or not. So yeah, the jumpiness, I don't know what that is. That's connection, I don't know. Lagging a bit. Yeah, that's probably my internet connection. Well, Frank, I should hope so. I mean, it's me. Mr. Smith, where is Matt Bracken? Matt Bracken is not here. Matt's at his house. I don't know what Matt's doing right now. I hadn't talked to him today. You just get stuck with me. Yeah, I'm trying this new camera on my laptop for a change so I can see the comments a little easier than trying to do it on my tablet and all that. So I said, I don't know how this picture quality is going to do and how the audio is. This is not this ain't one of them expensive high dollar camera setups, I can tell you that. Frank, I bet that pizza was good. Comments like that don't earn your brownie points, though, especially when you know I can't have it. Let's see here. Just to give you guys the down low and skinny, I ain't got nothing planned for this. This is more just a impromptu killing a little bit of time on a Sunday afternoon kind of deal. So here we are. I'm way behind on stuff, as I mentioned before. I've got so much news and videos and whatnot to get caught up on. It's unreal how far behind I got just from a week in the hospital and then things kind of being slow last week, just trying to get recovered from it and everything. So I'm still trying to figure out what all's going on in the news and the world and everything else. So I do know a good friend of mine that I trust, and I checked this information with another friend that's kind of in the know. And some of y'all may not be aware of it. Some of you might be. There is rumored to be a outbreak of smallpox down on the southern border somewhere. So put that one in your to watch menu. Not a lot being talked about it. I've got a good friend with connections to the CDC, and I checked with him, and he said from what he can find out, yes, there is some problems with it, and it's a pretty nasty strain, like 30% mortality rate or some such. Again, unverified, but that would be bad if we had another case of illegals bringing God knows what kind of third world viruses into the country and spreading them around. So just keep that in the back of your head. Let's see. Hey, Pat, thanks for stopping in. So I'll try to hit some of y'all's questions as I can. My medical situation, I'm better. I finished up all the antibiotics that they had me on a couple of days ago. So now I'm trying to get recovered from being on those because it was two different really strong antibiotics and they freaking suck the life out of you on top of other issues. But I'm okay in that regards. It's just a matter of recuperating strength and then getting the antibiotics out of my system and all that and making sure the infection's gone. And I've got 2 separate doctor's appointments, follow-ups coming up Wednesday, which is going to be a whole other pain in the rear having to take time to go do that. But I'm okay and I'm here for now. I'm kind of like the rooster. They ain't killed me yet. Camera pattern reviews. Well, Jim, I'm dropping stuff. I've had a bunch of this stuff laying around for 3 weeks now that I had some stuff done or planned to do. And my little hospital stay kind of threw all that out the window. So, yeah, I've got that to get done. I've got some more shooting videos I need to get done. I've got some videos on some food-related topics and storage I want to get done. Y'all hear me sound like a broken record all the time. I even get tired of hearing myself say it. It's the time thing. And when I'm up to my eyeballs with work, I'm way behind on orders. I've been dealing with some supplier issues that make you just want to choke people. And then being in the hospital for a week, that kills somebody like me that's a one-man small business. So when it comes time for videos and stuff, I try to squeeze them on the weekend when I'm just kind of taking a little bit of a break for myself. But I've been having to try to do stuff on the weekend too to get caught up. So let's see. I appreciate that, Jim. I will duly note that. Polish has always been a language I wanted to learn. Have you done a bug out bag, go bag review? No, I have not. I did some videos in the past, a couple of years ago, on some different packs that I liked and recommended for different uses. But I've specifically never done a bug out bag review per se, get home bag review, because of one particular reason. I have watched tons of videos and read tons of posts from people showing off their bug out bags, their get home bags, all this kind of stuff. And so many people, I don't know if it's just normalcy bias creeping or what, but their idea of what is a bug out bag and a get home bag are just so far from what I see one as being that it's annoying, because everybody's bag's going to have to be different. Like, I can't show you a bug out bag and what I've got in it and make any recommendation at all, because I'm going to set it up for my use, my situation, my terrain, my area, my plans. I mean, everything is so individualized when it comes to something like that. It's hard to do a review and any kind of recommendations, in my opinion. Now, there are some generalized things that you can do. I mean, you want food, water, shelter, that sort of thing. But you got to take into consideration who all's going to be with you, where you go and how far you got to go, what kind of terrain it is, what time of the year it is, what the weather's like. And so many people have that they miss the thing of, before you have a bug out bag, you better have somewhere to bug out to. And secondly, you better have it well stocked, because you ain't carrying much in the backpack, not for any kind of serious event or anything. It's just really hard to do something like that. I don't like to do things that I don't feel comfortable of being accurate per se on the information. So that's not to say I won't one day. It's just not, it's not high on my list right now. Yeah, that's the that camo pattern was the ATAX AUX. So I'm going to get out and do that in a couple of places. I'm still going to do a follow-up on the FGX in a little bit different location with some different terrain, try to see how that does. So I'll throw this out there while I'm thinking about it, and it's in the top of my head. If you guys don't go over and check out and read AmericanPartisan.org, I would encourage you to. Some of the top folks over there are all good friends of mine. Really good stuff over there as far as getting a lot of information in one place. I've tried to mention them before. The reason I'm bringing up American Partisan now is that I am going to probably start, my goal, let me rephrase that, is to start trying to put up some exclusive videos that will only be viewable over at American Partisan. In other words, they won't be public on YouTube. You'll have to go over to American Partisan to see where I post them at. Just some things that I want to do exclusively for over there. Still be open to everybody to see. You'll just have to go over to American Partisan to see it. So I encourage you to check in over there and read as often as you can and check up on stuff. We've got a really good, I think, pool of contributors there with good information, good knowledge base, etc. So yeah, Kenneth, it's Memorial Day weekend, but this is about as celebratory as you see me get. If I do anything tomorrow, it'll just be spending time with the family and resting and relaxing, that sort of thing. Maybe have a friend over. So, sorry, just taking a message real quick. Let's see. Yeah, we got 16 folks in here now. So, yes, Frank, well stocked and well secured. I'll jump back to the bug out thing, and I apologize for all the racket in the background. What I see a lot of people using bug out bags and what they've designed them, oftentimes they fall into one of two categories. Number one, they've never actually spent time out in the woods and tried to live out of a backpack for any significant amount of time. And number two, they've never actually carried a full ruck for very long, for very far, to realize what you're facing by doing that. Because in the past, I've mentioned, unless your place you're bugging out to is literally 5 miles away, some of these folks' bug out bags aren't going to get them anywhere. If you've got to go any kind of distance or time, and sometimes time is more important than distance, it's how long it's going to take you to get there. Your bug out location might be 20 miles away. But if the terrain and environment are such that it's going to take you 4 days to get there on foot, you're going to have to carry a lot of freaking stuff. And people all too often think that bugging out is just going to be like going for a hike in the mountains or something. And if things are so bad that you've got to throw a backpack on your back, leave your home and go somewhere else secluded, and you can't drive there, that's pretty freaking bad. That's like you're in worst case scenario territory at that point, and everyone's suspect until they aren't kind of deal. Again, I think that's where the reality and the normalcy bias creep into people's heads. I don't know. It's Let me see what comments are going on here. I can't talk to the camera and read the comments at the same time. Well, Jim, I appreciate it. Yeah, Metal Man, I was wondering about you guys out there. I've got family in Oklahoma that I was in touch with, and they were about ready to have to start doing this number, doing the oar stroke. They were getting some serious water. See, Corsair, that's the gist right there. Some people, they're on flip sides of the coin. You've got people talking about carrying way too much, but most of the people I see are talking about carrying way too little. You're going to have to carry a lot if you've got to go any kind of distance. And I see guys have got a jar of peanut butter and a couple of power bars, and they think they're going to be able to walk on foot for a week. It's going to take a lot of stuff to freaking, and that's just by yourself. If you've got a family, now I've made note before, just to go spend 2 days in the woods, 3 days and 2 nights, and it's in the woods where there ain't nobody around, and we have to take everything. For myself, my wife, and my boys, we can completely fill up the back of my truck, and we're not living extremely comfortably. I mean, it's, pretty Spartan with some air mattresses and sleeping bags and not having gourmet meals. I mean, if you've got a family and any kind of distance to go, it's going to take a freaking buttload of stuff. And these guys, they don't think about the lack of resupply. They don't think about you're not going to be able to stop and pick up stuff, or you can't plan on stopping and picking up stuff along the way. You're certainly not going to be walking into the local store, because once again, if you're having to use a bug out bag on foot, that's bad. We are in a bad situation. Hopefully things are such you can still use your car and get to where you're going in relatively safe manner and speedy manner and carry things with you. Hopefully you've got your location already well stocked with stuff. But that getting from point A to point B, if it's very far, I think most people woefully underestimate the amount of stuff they're going to have to carry, and the little 3-day bag that they've got ain't going to cut it. They're going to need like a big external frame mountain ruck and a push cart to go with it to carry enough stuff to realistically stay alive. You'll utilize stuff as you go, obviously, food, etc. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of people that I think are going to end up in trouble if they ever actually have to use your stuff. My bag is to throw in the truck and me drive as far as I can towards my location, which is very well stocked. I've got family already living there. And then if something happens to my truck on the way, I can jump out and finish the rest of it on foot with my bag. But my location is not all that far away, and I really hope I don't ever have to walk it. I really don't. And it's a pretty straight shot and not a lot of people around, which that's my environment. You put me on an empty highway through the nothing but woods, and I'm at home, and I don't want to have to do it. I really don't. Let's see. Read the comments, guys. Hang on. Exactly, Corsair. That's how you can tell these people haven't actually done it. And I mean, we go out camping. We have an annual get together that we do every year with some family and friends, and then we intermix other trips in between. Fortunately, we've got private property we can go camp out and do stuff on. But when we go, that's what we do. We take in whatever it is that we can put in our bags and put in the truck. That's what we have, and have to make do. Some people just don't do it. Oh, exactly, Kenneth. There's so many variables. It's See, that's what bothers me about YouTube videos sometimes, and you guys hear me harp on this. Context and variables. Those are two things that make it really hard to discuss some of this stuff, because context is everything and variables can be infinite. So when you start getting into all those different topics like that, I mean, before you can even talk about what I'm going to do if the crap hits the fan, first we got to establish, well, what's actually happened. And you can lay out a scenario. Okay, here's what's happened. You know, balloon's going up, world's gone to pot. Lay out what you're going to do, and then change one variable in the scenario, and it can totally skew what your plans are, what you would need, what you would want, what you would do, etc. So it's for me, it's just really, really difficult. And yes, Frank, you're absolutely correct. If it comes to the point where people are actually having to bug out, there's going to be a lot of well-dressed corpses. There's going to be a lot of people who think that because they're wearing their plaid shirt and a pair of blue jeans and have their little purple JanSport backpack, that they're going to be safe and not a target like someone who's wearing this and has a OD green or Coyote brown backpack. And that kind of person is going to be more of a target. And as I've tried to explain to people, if it's that bad, what you're wearing and what you're carrying will be irrelevant. Number one, if you're concerned about someone calling the police because there's some weird guy walking down the street wearing camo and a military type backpack, whatever military type means, that's such an arbitrary term, it drives me nuts. But anyway, I digress. If you're concerned about that, then the crap ain't hit the fan, okay? Because if the crap's truly hit the fan, there ain't no police responding, there ain't nobody calling the police to come. If it's that bad, I can guarantee you 90% of the sheep out there are not going to be paying attention to what you're doing because they're going to be freaking out. If they can see you to call the police on you, you've already screwed up. You should be moving in a manner of which to be unseen as much as possible. And camouflage and earth tone color clothes go a long way in helping you do that if you're doing it properly. Additionally, someone who's intent on taking things from others, I would argue the guy in the plaid shirt with the blue backpack, you could be carrying your stuff in a black hefty bag. All those kind of people are going to see is a post-apocalyptic Santa Claus. They see someone with stuff, they want their stuff. It's not going to make you any more of a target or any less of a target based off of what you're wearing or what you're using. In fact, I would propose the argument what you're wearing and using might actually be able to help deter that, because if you look like more of a hard target and you've screwed up because you're letting yourself be seen when you should be trying to remain kind of stealthy and hidden. Anyway, if you're seen and you look like a bit of a hard target, like, ooh, that dude, he's moving and acting and looks like he kind of knows what the heck he's doing. Look, there's some dude with no clue in a plaid shirt and blue jeans and a backpack. I'm not going to go after him because he just looks like some soccer dad that I could take out easily. Folks they'll do that. They'll straight up do that. So, Nate, you are correct. Gray man only applies to right now while the grid's up and the telephone's working. That's why I did the gray man. Oh, you going to bail on me for burgers, Frank? Seriously? It was pizza last night and now, or no, pizza Friday night and now burgers today? Seriously? Dude, that's right here, man. What was I saying? I was saying something before Frank distracted me about burgers. Anyway, yeah, the gray man video. That's why I did my gray man video a while back. Again, normalcy bias. Gray man applies right now. Gray man is not going around wearing, as much as I like them, wearing your favorite Glock shirt everywhere. I love Glocks. I don't go around wearing a Glock shirt out in public. Here's one that gets me. I actually heard a guy ranting about gray man stuff, being a gray man, and when you looked at the back window of his car, he's got like 15 different gun manufacturer decals on there, an NRA decal, don't tread on me decal, come and take it. I mean, made his vehicle, you could have picked it out of a lineup of 100 cars with all the identifying markers he had on it, and wanted to rant about people following the gray man persona. That's why I have absolutely zero identifying things on my truck, so that my truck looks exactly the same as a dozen other trucks out of there. There's nothing you can distinguish with mine, and there's no reason to for you to think I have anything in there. Oh, they are Corsair. See, gray man right now for me is a plain t-shirt with nothing on it, and one of my button-up concealment shirts is usually just a plain brown or plain green shirt, just simple earth tone colors, and a pair of jeans and hat. That's how I go gray man every day, and usually keep a fairly well-stocked arsenal on me or within arm's reach. If the balloon truly goes up, and I mean the crap really hits the fan, not like some of these people think that it's just you're taking a stroll through the mall, but if it really goes bad, gray man is going to be this and this, and chances are you ain't going to see me, because I'm going to be handrailing the road about 25 yards inside the tree line on the highway, sneaking through backyards of houses that are unoccupied. And y'all got me on a rant, so it's y'all's fault. People get this idea that they're going to strap on their bug out bag and go diddy bopping down the highway to their bug out location. Just, if you're walking down the side of the road in that situation, you have already screwed up, messed up, lost it, and you are begging for trouble from the start. You're making yourself an open target walking down the road. If anything, again, we can do this infinitely, you'd want to be walking off the side of the road next to the tree line, so hopefully you could spot someone from a distance and duck into the trees and disappear before they're right up on top of you and know you're there. Because in that kind of scenario, in a true bug out situation, you're not going to want to be interacting with people. Especially because if it's that bad, there's probably going to be a lot of unknowns. I mean, if an EMP pops, let's use that as an example, okay? And Kenneth, you made a good point I'll address in a minute. Angry American, my brother, glad to see you here. You guys need to all go buy Angry American's books. Go buy him. He's a close personal friend of mine. You will love his stuff. There's so much win in his books that it's unreal. Go buy him. He's in the comments section right now. That's my brother from another mother. He's wrote a lot in his stories about what I'm ranting about. His key character actually has to get home on foot after an EMP. Okay? So, all right, look here, Sailor Boy. I was Army. I love the Navy. My dad was Navy, but I'm part of Mother Green. See the green? That's why it's green. Anyway, let's just use the scenario that an EMP is hit, right? How many people are going to know that that's actually what's going on? The power goes out, cell phones aren't working, cars aren't working, It's been a really true massive one. Okay. In the first 4 hours, you can't get any information. This isn't working. Radios probably aren't going to be working, etc. So what are people going to be doing? How are they going to know what's going on? They might just think it's a local power outage for a little bit. It may take a while before people start getting clued in that something's going on. You should already be moving at that point, try to get a jump on the situation. But in that kind of situation, you're going to want to completely avoid people. There's going to be so many unknowns because there are bad people in society who might, all bad people aren't stupid. Okay, that's another thing we need to, there's some really smart bad people out there. There are some that may figure out real quick exactly what's going on, and they may want to get the jump on their side of, hey, I want to start grabbing what I can now before people figure this out. Flip side for you, you want to be avoiding people for that very reason. Some of you that are my age will remember the old show X-Files and the common saying in there, trust no one. That will be your SOP in the initial events of something that like that example, right? Oh, ham for sure, as long as you've got it protected, but you know all about that. But I'm just saying, people let all this normalcy bias kick in. Angry American's main character in his books, in the very first book, that's the scenario. An EMP hits, and he's away from home and got to get home. See, that's probably one of the bigger scenarios I see is just getting home and being away when something happens. Getting to my bug out location, I'll accomplish that as long as I've got my family, because we've got our plans, we know what we're going to do. But to get home to my family, that starts the whole scenario. And as Morgan, Angry American's main character, as he goes on his trek home, I love the layout that he does, and he knows it because I've told him this. The stuff that the main character goes through, he's got a big, full backpack. I mean, it's a full ruck that he's humping to get home. And even then, he still has to rely on scavenging supplies and equipment and some help along the way. It's a quite realistic painting in my opinion of what he's got. So, of course, here, yes, I know you know that from your previous work experience. I spent a little time around some of the similar folks that you have, and that you're exactly right. That's mistake number one. They're not all bumbling idiots. And even the ones that are bumbling idiots, even just your run-of-the-mill gang-banging dregs of society, they don't have to be smart to ruin your day. All they got to be is lucky. Another point I've tried to get to people. Catching up on some comments, guys. Give me just a second. Oh, of course, John. They'll. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it firsthand just how fast people will go. They'll lose it. And just so y'all know, Derek there is in the comments, one of my best friends. He and I go way back and do quite a bit together. So y'all pay attention to what he's saying. And Angry, you are correct. The bad guys just have to be lucky once. You got to be lucky and good every time. Because all the bad guys got to do, that bullet that they send your way that says to whom it may concern, That's the one that can ruin your day or your family's day. They ain't got to be Chris Kyle to mess you up. Dr. Smooth, yeah, that movie Blackout's actually kind of an interesting take. Prisons, yeah, that's a big question, and Angry's right. It depends on the staff at prisons and what they decide to do. I mean, if they just keep everybody locked up and they all starve to death, then there's no issue. I'm not saying that's the right course, but at the same time, if they decide to turn everybody loose, you could see potentially thousands of desperate convicts roaming the land looking for what they can take, what they need. Let's see. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time here. I don't want to ramble with you guys for freaking 3 hours. Y'all get me started on stuff, and I'll move these comments up so I can back up. There was some I think I missed. Yes, I can. Going back to the vehicles, yeah, Angry, your truck does stick out no matter what, but there's a difference. The area you live in is not exactly, downtown Atlanta or something. There's a difference in living in a more small town rural area versus a big metropolitan type area. It's a lot easier to get away with things vehicle wise in that kind of environment. Come on, computer, work with me here. Yeah, Angry, I don't know if you caught that earlier. I didn't get a chance to tell you on the phone when we talked yesterday. My friend that you met back in January, who has his connections with a certain federal agency, he has been checking into that, and what they're facing right now with that smallpox is like a 30+% mortality rate, and they are trying to keep it under wraps. Audiobooks. Well, you can go get all of Angry American stuff on audiobooks. Highly recommend that. You can get my friend Matt Bracken's books on audio. Another good series on audio, Walt Browning, Charlie's Requiem. That's another really good series. All those are on audio. Highly recommend those. Dave, I don't know if he's got Red Cliffs on audiobook. It might be, but I can't say for sure. I honestly haven't asked him. I can try to find out, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, Angry. My buddy that you met, he's got connections with CDC through his employment, and that's what he was telling me. What's the name of that one that Frank Horton did? I don't think he's got it on paperback yet, but I'm pretty sure you can go download it and just print it out yourself if you got access to a printer. Patriots isn't bad. That was one of the first books I read years ago, back when it came out. And Rawls does a pretty good job with it. There's a couple of things in it that I take issue with, but it's definitely a good read enough to get your brain thinking for sure. Hey, is the camera still working okay, guys? I'm trying out a new webcam that my wife got me, and I don't know what the audio or video is even looking like with it. It's not exactly a high dollar webcam. As long as y'all can see and hear me okay, I suppose it's all right. Yes, 1 second after is really good. And the subsequent follow-ups to that one's pretty good as well. Oh, I need a better chair to sit in. Cool. So just to recap for some of you that weren't here at the beginning, make sure y'all go over to AmericanPartisan.org and check in over there. Lots of good information and stuff up there. And I'm probably going to be putting up some videos over there that'll be exclusive just to AP, so they won't show up publicly on the YouTube channel, but you'll still be able to openly view them over there. Just because I want to do a couple of exclusive things for there. So, all right, Mr. D, take care. Yeah, that's another one, Angry, I meant to get with you about. I've had a couple of different folks touch on that. There has been even more than that. They've been doing some tracing, and apparently they have been working quite a bit with Antifa in multiple contexts, including financially. Yeah, Cold Camp's still one of my favorites. Cold Camp's one of my favorites. I did a audio version myself of Cold Camp. A friend of mine wrote it. Oh, the news articles. There's not much out there in the news. You have to kind of go search for it. We're trying to get that kind of stuff up on American Partisan as we can, as it comes across, and we can get verifiable sources. But yeah, as Angry just said, there's a lot of that stuff they're trying to keep out of the news. They don't want that to get out. And Mr. Jenkins, the nuke plants, yeah. For the most part, from what I've read and been told, even with an EMP, most of the nuke plants will be all right. They've got enough in place to be able to safely shut down the reactors. But it still would be a dire situation, to be sure. And the potential for something to go wrong, Murphy's Law and all that, is pretty high. Oh, Angry. Speaking of that, when the stuff down in Mexico, I checked with my other friend that you met, that's retired from particular federal agency and the retired SF guy, and he checked with some context about the Mexico thing, and what he was being told pretty much echoed what you were seeing. Oh, angry. I bet you can't guess what's in here. I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first one don't count. Angry. Let's just say this is Morgan's favorite. And Dr. Smooth, I have plenty of that, but no, it's not in there right now. Due to my recent medical situation, I am not allowed to partake of adult beverages. This is just good old-fashioned sweet tea. Good old sweet tea. And y'all, Derek's hitting on the point right there. Think about how many people in the country, especially when it comes to Antifa and all these nut jobs, that are not emotionally grounded. That's, unfortunately, people like that are also often, not always, but often easily manipulated. And they are the epitome of what a certain communist leader coined the useful idiots. That's them. Yeah, see, Angry, I don't have I don't have all the money rolling in from all my successful books like you do, so I can't go with the Yeti. I gotta go with the plastic double-walled imitation mason jar. It keeps the tea cold and it doesn't spill all over the place. I figure job done. Oh, you know what, Derek? I want us to sit down and do a video on that. I want us to sit down and do it because I think you can probably tell it better than me, because you were there firsthand. My buddy Derek is in the comments right there. He just spent the past couple of weeks up in D.C. Doing some political type stuff for his job, and he got to go by one Ocasio-Cortez, her office in D.C., and he's he can tell you some interesting stuff about her, and like the wall outside her office, there's Post-it notes all over it, where people have just walked by and wrote stuff and put it up there, as much denigrating her as there are people supporting her. So now, see, if Angry wanted to send me a Yeti cup with his logo on there, I wouldn't turn it down. I'd probably pimp the crap out of it. But I ain't gonna let it send him to me. He's gonna have to come and get it because I got something here for him that I've been waiting for him to come pick up for a while, and I'm holding it hostage until he comes and gets it. No, Kenneth, sadly, you are correct. And unfortunately, as Derek can tell you, most people have no clue of the kind of game that gets played on the political side and what actually goes on. Yeah, Corsair Angry's not too far from me, so it's a short trip for him. We're not that far away from each other. But if you want to make a trip from out your way, you're welcome to. I mean, I know it may take you a night or two to get here, but I know you were, brother. And we both got waylaid with this getting older crap, which sucks. We got more weekends coming up. I ain't worried about it. Me, I'm in Florida. I'm in the second surface of the sun state. It's only 101 outside right now in the shade. Oh, glory be. We dropped from 101 to 100. It's cooling off. Yeah, you might want to be careful about that, Corsair. The California border guards might stop, prevent you from leaving. I know I'm not allowed into California. If I walked into California, that'd be like a vampire walking into a church. I'd probably burst into flames instantly. Or the entire state, it would trigger such a massive earthquake that it'd break off and slide into the Pacific. And I'd hate to be the one responsible for that, because as messed up as California is, there are still some good people out there. Present company. Yeah, I know. Hey, before you make that trip, Angry, we need to talk about a couple of things too. Just some contingency points. 65 will be glorious right now. Analyst saying Texas has a high probability of turning purple. I think it's highly possible. You're seeing a lot of states turning purple. Texas, Florida. Florida's turning purple because we're getting such a continued influx of folks from up in the Northeast that are fleeing the failed policies of the Northeast and coming down here and then trying to reinstitute the same things that they're fleeing from up there. I know you've got some, brother, but I'm talking about some that we need to work out. You know, pace. I'm actually surprised you weren't there, Mr. Morris. I am surprised you weren't. Yep, that's why Colorado's turning blue. Sorry, I'm not looking at you guys. I'm trying to read the comments over here to the side so I can keep up on stuff. Oh, by the way, Corsair, I got to go back and rewatch a couple of your videos. Y'all go check out Corsair's channel if you get time. I'm trying to get caught up on some of his stuff. I got to go back watch some of your gear videos, Corsair, just so I can interject my 3 wooden nickels. Maybe it's 2. I don't know. I mean, and the only reason I say that is just I've kind of been messing with the stuff for a long time, and it's what I do every day. I make the crap, so you know. When it comes to gear, I kind of got a little heads up. Hello, Mr. Logan. What are you up to? Logan's my adopted nephew. Smooth. That's cool. My wife actually loves her little 9mm AR, and my buddy Derek there, we're in the process of putting together one for his wife too. They are underrated little personal defense weapons. Absolutely underrated. Once we get my buddy Derek's wife, when we get hers put together, probably going to take and do a video with her and my wife together, just showing what even moderately trained hands can do with those, even out to 100, 150 yards with one of those. Yeah, Dave, I got to get with Matt and see if we can schedule some more time together. We want to try to make it a regular thing. It's just I'm busy all the time with work. Matt's to be a retired person who deals with his books. Matt stays awful busy too, but Angry American can tell you about that too. I mean, he writes books and stays freaking busy as all get out. Okay, I forgot about her having one, Angry. We might have to have her come be a part of that too. We can just do a video of the ladies with their little 9mm and show them what they can do with them. And you're right, Kenneth. Make no mistake. That's part of the bottom line that they're trying to do with all the illegals. They want to flood the illegals in and get them voting because they know how they're going to vote. You know, that's exactly how. Zombie, what's going on? So that's another one y'all need to go check out. Besides Corsair's channel, go check out Zombie Farmer. Now, let me warn you about Zombie's channel, okay? Zombie Farmer is going to lay it out. He ain't going to beat around the bush. All right, he's going to get straight to the point. So if you don't like cold hard truth, you won't like what he's got to say. John Smith, they'll cycle it all day long and twice on Sunday. You see this one right here? I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but that is 124 grain plus P plus ammo, and it loves it. So plus P plus PS ammo out of little AR pistols, rock it all day long. All right, Michael, take it easy. And no, I haven't forgotten. I'm like I told you in the email, I'm getting over all this freaking hospital stay and everything. I got your pouches done. I'll get that other piece done just as soon as I can and get it to you. Buying some horses. My cousin's fixing to add a bunch of cows in up at his place, Zombie. I'll have to probably pick your brain a little bit once we do that, because I know he'll probably have some questions, and I know you got a few of them four-legged stake machines. All right, brother. We'll do it this week. I'll be with you. Hey, y'all go help Angry American out and buy his books. You'll be helping out my friend. You can ride a cow, but I don't recommend it. They usually aren't too fond of the idea. And unlike horses, they're a little bit broader through the midsection, and it makes it a little uncomfortable. Yeah, our laws are retarded when it comes to some of that stuff, but we just have to play the game like the rest of them. Yes, what Zombie said. Their skin rolls. It's not real tight and firm like a horse. Which books? Angry American. If you go look, just go to Amazon or go to his website. The Going Home series that Angry American does, absolutely phenomenal book series. Yes, cows are for eating. They are quite delicious. I thank the good Lord every day for giving us cows. Let's see. Nah, I'll wait and show you that on video. Never mind. I was going to show you something, but I'll wait. I got to do a separate video on it. I don't want to get started here, but what else? What else? That's a good setup, Kenneth. I love the scorpions. The only reason I let go of my scorpion was to get this because I wanted the magazine compatibility with my Glocks. If it wouldn't been for that, well, if I would have had the money, I would have had this and the scorpion. And if the day ever comes when I can be independently wealthy, I'll buy me another scorpion because I love those little things. They are stupid reliable and really nice to shoot. And yes, Derek is correct. Cows can pull a cart that you can ride in all the way to the barbecue. I have to go check that out, Zombie. John Smith, no, I have not heard anything about that. Be good if they do. More states, the better. I just wish they would get suppressors and SBRs off the NFA list. But I'm not holding my breath. Yeah, I'll go check that out in the community section, Zombie. I got to start making more use of that myself because it's easy to put stuff up there and share and let people see it. What else was I going to bug you guys about? Like I said, I didn't really have anything planned for this. This was more just kind of a impromptu, and let's throw it up and see who wants to watch kind of deal. No particular agenda today. Let's see. I don't think I can do that. It'll kill the video feed. It's going to go look for something, but see, that's the first time trying this with the computer. Yeah. Like I said, I really like the Scorpions. I just didn't financially. I didn't have the money to get the 9mm AR, so the only recourse was to sell the Scorpion. And I had a friend that wanted it, so I sold it to him and got this. Yeah, that's one of the big pros of pistols like this. You don't have to worry about NFA issues crossing state lines. I mean, when I can have a pistol like this and it's a pistol and not anything falls under NFA, I don't have to worry about arbitrarily running into violating some crazy laws from that is not existing in one state and heavily enforced in the next. You guys got anything else on your minds that you wanted to talk about? Zombie, I got to go watch your last video. I've been tied up the past couple of days since the one you put up, and I keep reminding myself to go do it. I got to get caught up on some of your stuff. Yeah, this one's a dedicated 9mm. You can't cobble too much off of this other than like the fire control group and stuff. But what's really good, and I got to do a video on this, is for my youngest son, we took and built him a 9mm AR, but I used a regular 5.56 lower instead of a dedicated Glock mag lower. And we got one of the Stern Defense makes an adapter that you put in the 5.56 mag well that takes the Glock mags, and it works phenomenal. And the cool thing is, he can have the 9mm upper and a 5.56 upper, and by removing that magwell adapter, he can switch back to 5.56 just by taking that out and swapping upper. So it gives him two guns in one pretty easily. Now there is no documentation, Mr. Smooth. There's nothing legally out there about it. It's not like NFA stuff where you've got your tax stamp and everything. It's just a pistol because it's got a brace on it instead of a stock. So John Smith, which one are you talking about? The 9mm or the 5.56 one that I just showed? The 9mm you can get for about $500, give or take. And this is my 5.56 pistol. If you watch Palmetto State Armory, you can get a strip lower for like $30, and then you can get like a 10.5-inch upper as a build kit with the complete lower parts and the SB Tactical brace. You can usually get those for like $300 or $350. So for $400, you can have a complete 5.56 one, give or take. It just depends on what the prices are running. The 9mm one, this usually going to put you in the ballpark of about $500, give or take. Again, you just have to watch. Like mine's Palmetto State Armory. You just have to watch their prices, and when they're putting them on sale, you can usually get a complete lower with the brace on it for usually like $2 something, and then the upper will usually run you $2 something as well. So. Yep, best thing is just make sure you don't give them a reason to stop you. Do the speed limit, use your turn signal, and stay out of their radar, figuratively and literally. All right, guys, we're an hour and 10 minutes into this, and it's starting to get late. So I'm gonna go. Dr. Smooth, I think you'll like it. More rounds you get through it, the better it's gonna get. I think I'm gonna go get me a shower and some dinner. I'm starting to get a little hungry. It's probably about time for another round of medication. Oh, Jabari, the prices right now on ARs, if you go back as far as like me and Derek in buying them, the prices are unreal right now. There has never in history been a better time to stock up on ARs. It's unbelievable what you can get stuff for price wise right now, especially Palmetto State Armory. I sing their praises for a reason. Anderson lowers, you know, I've heard hit or miss stuff about Anderson. They're either one or two. They're either perfect or they're messed up. Now, one of my primary guns is built on an Anderson lower, and it's flawless. I have no issues with it at all. So I know there have been reports from some people that they would get one that's out of spec. The pinholes would be out of spec a little bit, and it doesn't take much on an AR with those pinholes to be off to cause some serious issues. But all in all, I've not had a problem with Anderson lowers. For about the same price, you can get a Palmetto State Armory lower, and they're known for being pretty much really good all the time. I haven't seen any issues with PSA lowers. Yep, good quality and good prices are absolutely available, and it is all a free market issue because the market drives it. If a company's putting out stuff that's no good, it doesn't matter what the price is, people aren't going to buy it. And if a company's putting out good stuff at a decent price, people will buy it and realize, you know what, I don't have to spend a higher amount of money on a more expensive product to get something that's usable and serviceable. Most reputable companies, Kenneth, most companies are low shelf uppers. I mean lowers rather. Sorry. I don't know too many people that right now. I don't know of anybody really that's doing a high shelf upper. So pretty much any lower you can buy right now, short of having the auto sear pinhole, it's going to be a standard lower. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up on that note. Appreciate you guys tuning in again. Sorry, I know this wasn't anything in particular we were going to chat about. We were just kind of rambling and see what came out. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Y'all have a good one, and I might try to get a little work done tomorrow, but I'm probably gonna try to chill out too. So I might get a little bit of video done. Let me answer it. Kenneth, you talking about Bravo Company? You're talking about Bravo Company. I had some Bravo companies, and my friends got a lot of Bravo companies, and some of them are low shelves. Some are cut all the way, but it doesn't have to be cut all the way to be able to put an auto sear and everything in. Oh, BCI. Okay, I'm not familiar with them. I'll have to look that up. I'll do that in the meantime and let you know from there. So, all right, guys, we're gonna push the button. y'all take care, and see you in another one. I appreciate it.